Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Master to M. Oh, what a state I passed through. At that time I did not eat my meals here. I would enter the house of a Brahmin in the village or at Baranagar or at Aryadhana. Generally it would be past meal time. I would just sit down there without saying a word. If the members of the household asked me why I had come, I would simply say, I want something to eat. Now and then I would go, uninvited of course, to Ram Chatterjee's house at Alam Bazar or to Chaudhry's at Dakshineswar. But I did not relish the food at the Chaudhry's house. How the God intoxicated state will be there, and how the divine protection and nature's help also will be there. Body must sustain the stresses and strain of this sadhana. We will not be normally able to bear all the stresses and strains of sadhana. Even to fast one day, even to keep ourselves vigil at night one day, it becomes so difficult because we are extremely conscious of body. We are not conscious of the spirit so much as we are conscious of our body. So the problem comes, I am body doing sadhana. Till our consciousness shifts to a higher level of consciousness where I see myself independent of the external things. Till then, I will have the problem of this. When I emerge out from the body and slowly start identifying myself with the self rather than body. Just like a person, suppose a mother is there, child has met with an accident, and he is taken to the hospital. She is indifferent to body. She is indifferent to her clothes. She is indifferent to her ornaments she is properly wearing or not. Because the intensity with which she is thinking of her child she becomes indifferent. Her leg may get stuck somewhere. It may be bleeding. She doesn't bother. She is running to see what has happened. Like that will be the state of God intoxicated states. And we see we should not confuse with the mental states. Mental states are extremely lower states. It comes and go. Often some people come and tell me, I wonder, yesterday I went into Samadhi. What is Samadhi Sthiti? Where? What happened? And I was totally unaware of the external world. And I was in a state of bliss. And these are the mental states. Is it sustained? No, some people started shouting here and there. And here and there is there, world is there, world is still present, and I am in Samadhi. I may experience extreme calmness and joy. Extreme calmness and joy I experienced up to the age 2-3, normally all children experience. After that, when they start going to school and mixing with people, limitations we start putting upon ourselves. How to behave, how to live, how to what people will think, all these things will start coming. We spend lot of awareness with the people around and the things. And this always there is attention and awareness, people and the world. I as body and people and world. My bodily existence is under the vasanas, with raga, dvesha, attachments and aversions, likes and dislikes. And mind is under that state. And when we get relaxed from all that, go back to our childhood and forget everything joyfully, some moments of life. It looks like samadhi. It is just mental states. Samadhi is where I have reached a higher level of consciousness. I no more can identify with this bodily existence, even after coming down. I will be like sitting in a car, totally independent of body and mind. The gender awareness totally disappears forever, never to return again. So, without these things, we cannot say it's spiritual. But how difficult, what could be the intoxicated state of God or divine awareness? It's very difficult to conceive. But some understanding we do get. And see how he is to go from place to place. Something inhibits from within, whether it is nature or God. Now I want to take some food. I am in a state where I don't have my awareness whether I should eat this or not. I take, and immediately from within something says, no, don't take this. And it is left. It is whether nature instigating, it may be contaminated, it may be defective, that I am not able to bear it. There is no, here the vasanas and likes and dislikes do not come. This taking or not, or the inner liking or not, I keep it back. This is governed by my not state of mind or likes or dislikes, vasanas, but an inner being which is there in tune with the spiritual states. Being in spiritual state, my rejection is different from my normal state, doing rejection. I don't want this. This is vasana, my tendencies. I don't want this. I am in an ecstatic state. Is my soul rejecting it because it is not conducive to that, either that particular moment or for the whole system at all times. So here Sri Ramakrishna is passing through these states to select the house where he can eat food, to go and something is directing. The Kanchivaram Periyavar of the Shankara Math, who lived to 100 years, he never wear his footwear. Even khada he did not wear as a sannyasi. He used to he'll be sitting, suddenly he gets up and starts walking. All have to follow. Where is he going? What is happening? He is walking. Village to village he starts walking. And somewhere he goes. And something he tells to some people, and comes back. Why he got up? Why? We call it inner prerana. After a person crosses the body awareness and is constantly in tune with the divine, there is divine prerana. Intuition from the divine. Here vasana or likes and dislikes do not prevail or do not interfere. It is inner prayer. Sri Ramakrishna is going through such states. But I could not relish the food at the Chaudhry's house. One day I begged Mathur to take me to Devendra Tagore's house. I said, Devendra chants the name of God. I want to see him. Will you take me there? Mathur Babu was very proud man. How could one expect him to go to another man's house uninvited? The first he hesitated, but then he said, all right, Devendra and I were fellow students. I will take you to him. You see, here one secret information is being presented. I said, Devendra chants the name of God. I want to see him. Will you take me there? God is telling, he chants the name of God. Will you take me there? Suppose we are lovingly calling on God, chanting his name, doing japa, calmly sitting in some place, free from all the worries and strains, bindings of the mind, knots of the heart. If I throw away and lovingly call on God, how the God would present himself. I may not be able to see unless God gives me that eyes to see him, but I may feel his presence. He will be there. Narada assures, wherever there is God's name, Lord will be there. So the thought of if you are lovingly just repeating the name of God, God will be longing to come there. Devendra chants the name of God. I want to see him. It is not an ordinary person telling, not a sadhaka telling, not a siddha telling, not an enlightened soul telling. It is God telling. What would be the things you see? God asking a person to take him there because he is chanting the name of God. Will you take me there? Mathur Babu was a very proud man. Here he is removing that ego of the Mathur Babu. On the other side, same one stone, two mangoes will fall down. So when Rama left the arrow to show his power and authority, it passed through 7 trees in line, making them fall down. Like that, God is trying to, every moment, He is trying to achieve great things, many things in just one talk. Mathur Babu is a proud man. Sri Ramakrishna wants to remove his pride. How immediately, how they feel. Can I go to his house? Should I go to his house? He has not invited me to take some person and go there. That pride, that humility is not there, the flexibility is not there. Two things we have to observe in our life is being free from ego and be ready to accept the sufferings, take upon the sufferings ourselves, willfully also. We have not been taught to accept suffering and face the suffering or pass through the suffering joyfully. Acceptance is not at all taught to us. From our childhood, we revolt to suffering, we revolt to insults, we revolt to losses. Those which are inevitable, we have to face and bear. Those who can be avoided, those can be solved, solve it off. But those which cannot be avoided. I was explaining yesterday about the pilgrimage to the Sharda Foundation. I was telling them how in pilgrimage, how much of stresses, everything is taken as there may not be water, there may be difficulties. All that is taken as a joyful journey. 2-3 days I may not get water at all, but I pass through that because it's a pilgrimage. And people take up most difficult paths to reach the temple. Some seek easiest methods, comforts and joys. They want to visit Kedarnath. Go by flight, take a helicopter, go there, board down, and come back in the same. That is no more pilgrimage. Some people take all the whole path they travel on foot, miles after miles, days after days, here, there, asking for food, no water, no place to ease ourselves. In the harsh sun, rains, they will be walking. Alandi and all, you must see how they go. Varkaris, 1 month, 2 months they walk. So this strain take upon the most difficult path. I saw in Himalayas, at Kedarnath, 2 women, they were Sikh people, Sikh community, and we are wearing shoes inside, 2 socks, and the whole thing is covered with inner thermal wear and all many things, many koshas we have formed. And the plain simple sari, head also they are not covered, and barefoot on ice they are walking. I thought, how much of they bear. That is the tapasya. That gives the fruit. For the sake of God, I can bear any strains. Joyfully they pass through. So we have to be prepared. Small things disturb us. A small harsh word will disturb our whole mood and whole day. Nothing must be able to shake me. So these things, to accept the suffering which is inevitable, losses and gain, all these insults, all these negative things that happen, which we don't like to happen, if it happens by the will of God. It has a purpose to fulfill in our evolutionary process. Accept it and thankfully go ahead. Because maybe it is destroying your karma. It may be giving you strength somewhere, some way. We do not know. Just like teaching wrestling. The more equipped you become, the stronger opponent will be given. It is a constant struggle to climb. So each lesson is a preparation for the next state he is passing through. So suffering also, to end the suffering forever. So here we see one part is to accept humility, to destroy the ego in every possible way, ego, and with great sacrifice, love, universal love and sacrifice, we move. On the other side, to bear, have great patience, forbearance. This is 2 things we equip with in our spiritual life. These are essentials of spiritual life. So here, Sri Ramakrishna is trying to remove the ego of the person also. Another day, I learnt of a good man named Dina Mukherjee living at Bagh Bazar near the bridge. He was a devotee. I asked Mathur to take me there. Finding me insistent, he took me to Dina's house in a carriage. It was a small place. The arrival of a rich man in a big carriage embarrassed the inmates. We too were embarrassed. That day, Dina's son was being invested with sacred thread. The house was crowded, and there was hardly any place for Dina to receive us. We were about to enter the side room when someone cried out, "Please don't go into that room. There are ladies there." It was really distressing situation. Returning, Mathur Babu said, "Father, I shall never listen to you again." I laughed. What's the where there is a good man calling on God. Insults for God doesn't matter. Inconvenience do not matter. When we go for tapasya, how we accept the situations. Wherever we are placed, in whatever situation we placed, we are happy. We are contented. We don't seek anything, no preferences, no demands, no comforts. Some places there will be small thorny area. You cannot walk without footwear, and we don't have footwear. And holding the breath, you have to walk on that. You can't remove, you cannot do anything. Whole place is filled with that small ground level with thorny bushes. Ground level. And you will have to walk on that. Especially Narmada Parikrama and all. We pass through many hardships. And everything is an adventure in spiritual life. It's a joy. And after passing that area, we sit in a place and see how to remove the small fibers that penetrate into the foot. With a rug, blanket, we will rub and try to remove those things. We may have to walk through slash water, which is stagnant for many days, and perhaps whole rainy season it was logging there. Dirty smell, and we pass through that, taking the name of God. Oh Lord, all this is for you. All this is for you. Be gracious to us. If you are there by my side, I can do all this. It's a joy. So, any situation of life, the God is telling, don't worry. Where there is goodness, where there is purity, where there is devotion, where there is sacrifice, where there is constant remembrance of God, you can freely go and bear all the inconveniences. See how I went, where I went, just to see a good man. And fortunately, the God has come like some God coming in Vamana Avatara. Big function is going on. Son's thread ceremony. And God is there at his house. How the goodness has brought incarnation, the avatar Varishta to his door, you see. It is like that. Oh, then Father, I shall never listen to you again. And I laughed. Why did he laugh? Nothing is according to your will. Everything happens by God's will. You may say, I will not go. I will not take you. If the Lord wills, you will have to take. Oh, what a state I passed through. Once Kumar Singh gave a feast to sadhus and invited me to. I found a great many holy men assembled there. When I sat down for a meal, several sadhus asked me about myself. At once I felt like leaving them and sitting alone. I wondered why they should bother about all that. The sadhus took their seats. I began to eat before they had started. I heard several of them remarking, "Oh, what sort of man is this?" It was about 5 o'clock. And see the states they pass through. We care for the world and people's opinion. The true devotees of God hear the voice of God. What God wants me to do, what world expects me to do is different from what God wants to me to do. My surrendered soul to God is guided by God. If I surrender myself to nature, myself is driven, controlled by the nature. If I keep myself, I have to know whom shall I obey? The Lord's will or the people's demand? So, if you are a devotee, try to listen to the God's voice that comes from within. Don't be in such a state that don't mistake. Pramada should not be there. Slightest ego will convert some voice, your own voice into God's voice. Little, we often mistake. It is will of God. No, it is my will. If there is ego is present, my total giving, there is a slightest reservation for myself. All the time, like a child fallen at the feet of mother, the total surrender. All through, Thakur, you, not I can't, you have to do. So that attitude with which we move, and in work and activities, we show absolute perfection because we have to, it is a service to God. Work is always in sadhana to convert the work into worship. The only way is to do everything great caution, perfection, and total sacrifice, giving, dedication. And we don't link our services to the anything that is needed for our personal existence. I don't want anything. I am just out of love I am doing. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.